Welcome to this video on the architecture of knowledge, where we explore designing constructivist classrooms for active learning. We begin with the epistemological lens, the belief that knowledge is actively interpreted, not passively received. This contrasts the objectivist illusion, where knowledge is perfectly transferable, with the constructivist reality, where meaning is a subjective construction based on experience and culture. The constructivist model shifts the student's role from a passive consumer, absorbing pre-packaged facts, to an active producer who transforms information, tests hypotheses, and creates personal meaning through experience. This framework outlines the paradigm shift. In a constructivist classroom, knowledge is dynamic, the focus is on complex, real-world problems, the teacher acts as a guide, and assessment is authentic and process-oriented. Constructivism rests on two pillars: cognitive constructivism, focused on internal processes and individual meaning-making, and social constructivism, which emphasizes external social interactions, culture, and social negotiation. Conceptual change operates through a cycle. It begins with assimilation, moves to disequilibrium when new information conflicts with existing schemas, and resolves through accommodation, where the learner restructures their mental models, leading to growth. Strategic scaffolding expands capability by targeting the zone of proximal development. This is the sweet spot for learning, where a teacher or peer provides temporary support, helping the student solve a problem just beyond their independent reach. True constructivism requires students to engage both their hands and their minds. Hands-on activity is not enough. It must involve open-ended problems, the autonomy to design investigations, and reflection, transforming activity into knowledge construction. The teacher's role shifts from a sage on the stage to a guide on the side. The teacher's mandate is to diagnose pre-existing conceptions, perturb students with authentic problems, facilitate group dynamics, and empower students to validate their own reasoning. A nonlinear blueprint for lesson design follows the 5E model: engage curiosity, explore through hands-on experience, explain concepts, elaborate by applying the concept to a new context, and evaluate the student's reasoning process. The active learning toolbox includes three main approaches: inquiry-based learning, which is driven by curiosity; problem-based learning, which uses real-world problems to acquire new skills; and cooperative learning, which requires social negotiation and peer tutoring. Structure is negotiated in a constructivist classroom, not absent. This includes flexible seating pods, an accessible social contract outlining norms, and accessible resources that allow for self-directed exploration. Authentic assessment measures the process, not just the product. This continuous cycle involves action, reflection, and adaptation, supported by formative feedback, self and peer assessment, and portfolios that assess the evolution of ideas. The constructivist ecosystem requires three forces to intersect simultaneously: teacher scaffolding, social negotiation among students, and the authentic task, an ill-defined, real-world problem serving as the foundation. The ultimate goal is building the architects of tomorrow. By abandoning the illusion of the empty vessel, we empower students to become independent, lifelong builders of their own intellectual reality.